اسمي روتانا طرابزوني. أنا من السعودية. جيت على أمريكا عشان أغني وأكتب وأمارس الفن، وهذه قصتي.
Female, empowerment, rebel, Muslim, immigrant. I have all the hashtags.
Come from the top on that for me.
أنا روتانا وهذا صوتي، وأنا جاية بقوة، واسمعوني وشوفوني.
I think I'm still a stupid kid, just looking for a place to.
تربيت في الشرقية، بس كثير من أهلي عايشين في جدة. عمتي هدى قريبة على قلبي كثير، وكنا نروح عند عمة هدى ويوم الجمعة نصلي جماعة مع بعض. كانت تاخذ كل الأطفال فوق نتوضى مع بعض، وننزل ونصلي جماعة. وكنت أنا لأنه كنت أعرف أرتل. تعلمت كيف أغني من ترتيل القرآن، فكانت عمتي دائما تحطني قدام تقول لي يلا أمي فينا. وكنت أغني مع صحباتي، وكمان هناك تعلمت أغني، بس كان very private، بس أغني في المدرسة، ما كان يطلع معايا الغنى. بس كنا بريئين، وكنا بس نقعد مع بعض ونطق على الطيران اللي هو الطبلة العربية، نحميهم فوق النار ونقعد. that's what we would do on the weekends. هذه حفلاتنا. لما اكتشفت كريستينا أغيليرا خلاص كنت أقعد في غرفتي يمكن ساعتين، أحبس نفسي بغرفتي وأحط كريستينا أغيليرا وأغني معاها، أمسك الهير براش وأغني بالمراية. وطبعا أهلي كانوا يسمعوني، وكنت أروح أغني لماما وبابا، وما يبغوا يسمعوني أصلا، بس غصب كنت أغني لهم. كان في قلبي دائما. ولما أحزن، لما أعصب، لما ما أعرف إيش أسوي في نفسي، كنت أدخل غرفتي وأكتب قصتي وبعدين أغني. I've been doing this for a long time، بس أبداً ما كان في training، ما كان عندي access إني ألعب بيانو، ما كان عندنا music stores. كان موهبة. أنا اللي علمت نفسي كيف أكتب، أنا اللي علمت نفسي كيف أغني، أنا اللي علمت نفسي حتى كيف I perform. كنت أرقص وأسوي كل هذه الأشياء، بس أنا ومرايتي. المجتمع السعودي مجتمع جميل جدا وتاريخه عريق، فالفن للأسف لسه مجال قاعدين نتفتح عليه كسعوديين. فمننا متعودين إنه رجالنا وخاصة البنات يدخلوا مجال الفن. فكبنت صغيرة كنت أموت في الغنى، بس أبداً ما كنت أحس إنه هذا شيء حيرضي ماما أو حيرضي بابا أو حيرضي مجتمعي أو خالاتي أو أعمامي. كنت أحس إنه هذا الشيء بس للأمريكان، وشيء ما عندي access له. مثلاً ما كان عندنا concerts في السعودية، ممنوع. لسه هذه السنة صار عندنا أول كونسرت. ما كان عندنا أماكن موسيقى تقدر تروحي تشتري فيها جيتار أو عود، أي شيء أدق عليه ما كان موجود. كان عندنا one radio channel بس.
I'm Doور. I came from southern Sudan. I came to America because of civil war in Sudan, and this is my story.
How you doing? Well, the first thing that I did was to go to the restaurant. It was really hard, and from that experience, I tried to avoid going to restaurants.
Nice, good job.
Here now, as an American, giving back in the community that I call my own today. We're raising the first generation America that know nothing about where we came from, what we went through. So I grew up in Doور, that's where I was born. So the people that I grew up in, they were farmers, they keep cattle, and they live close to each other. At the time before the Civil War, it was peaceful. People were keeping their animals from one place to another. There's no problem. You barely see guns. So the war started in 1983, and because of that, the civilian became the immediate target of the government. So it was happening all the time. Villages were burned down, and so it became time that we were the next target, and so we had to leave. So my brother and I, and my sister and husband has to leave, and from then on we leave from one camp to another. Leaving your parent and you're not sure what will happen to them when you are 10 was not easy. And when you're moving from one place to another, and you don't know really where you're going to, you only come to a place because you saved and you made it. But you do not know where the next place will be. From the standpoint of a kid, it was very hard. Kakuma refugee camp is a really hard place. It's windy and dusty, but that's the only place that the Kenyan government has given the refugees to live at. So you have to spend 15 days and you get some food. Really very small, not a lot. So if you were to depend on that, it will take you at least 7 days, and then you spend the 8 days without food. So that was really hard. Coming to America was not something that it came through a lot of people going to refugee camps, and they report about life in refugee camp. They take pictures, they show them at UN, and they share those stories. So in camp, if you come to Kakuma refugee camp with nobody, you have no parent, you live as a group as an unaccompanied minors. So this group of kids caught the attention of the United States. The story of South Sudan and Southern Sudan conflict caught the attention of the international community, and the United States took a lead and gave the unaccompanied minors the opportunity to come to the United States. And it was a little bit of a process, but that's how I came.
Okay, Fateh, how you doing, man? Tamam? In Paul? Yeah, thank you. Please have a seat. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things that, back, when we flee home in 1987 to Ethiopia, we lost a lot of life. That's some of the life that somebody might, would be blamed for it. Why, this kid died. And some of them that nobody would be blamed for it because it's a natural thing that human can die. When we run, we get chased away by the Khartoum government to Ethiopia. A lot of boys lost their life on the way, from wild animal, from attacks, all the way to Ethiopia. And after we get there was no food, there's no even clean water. It's a tough life, tough situation. If you could remember Tshol, when we came to the camp, and we have this local people called Turkana people, that the Kenyans, they were suffering at the same time. They don't have enough food, and when the time that we came to the camp, the UN was giving this ration or the food to us, and they feel like, why not them before? And they come to to the camp and attack people for that food and take it away from the people, killing people. That has happened a lot to many people. Even very close to me, one of the group that was very close to our group, happened to it, that people get killed overnight because of the food or because of the pressure. So now, here in America, who can kill you because you are eating food? There's food there, there's food here that you can eat. And those the opportunity that, when we hear back about our people still going through that, is a heartbroken.
تخرجت من الجامعة ب 2010 2011 وبديت أشتغل بأرامكو السعودية شركة النفط، وحققت نجاح بسرعة كامرأة هناك، لأنه كنت دائما أبغى أسوي كل الببليك سبيتشز، فحققت نجاح بسرعة وكنت مبسوطة. بس بعدين جاني نوع من الاكتئاب، وقعدت مع نفسي وسألت نفسي روتانا إيش ناقصك؟ إيش فيه؟ تعرفت على نفسي لأول مرة، قعدت مع نفسي أنا دورت على الأجوبة داخلي، لما دخلت بهذا الموضوع لقيت إنه جدا كنت أبغى أكتب وكنت أبغى أغني. وفي وقتها للأسف هذا قبل 5 سنين، حوالي قبل 6 سنين، فأبدا ما كان عندنا هذا الافتتاح والتغير اللي قاعد يصير في السعودية الحين. ففي حوالي سنة 2012 قررت إنه حلمي إني أكون فنانة كان شيء ما أقدر أنتظر عليه كثير، فقررت أجي على أمريكا وأتعلم الفن وحقق حلمي، والحمد لله تمت على خير. جيت على أمريكا ورحت على USC University of Southern California، درست في the Annenberg School of Journalism، ودرست my masters هناك. وفي نفس الوقت أول ما جيت على أمريكا بديت على طول أتعلم كيف أكتب الأغاني، كيف أغني، كيف أمرن صوتي، كيف أقوي صوتي. وكان صعب لأنه الغربة صعبة، خاصة لما تجي من السعودية على أمريكا. المجتمع غير والعيلة هنا مو متمسكة زي ما العيلة متمسكة في السعودية.
Come from the top on that for me.
What?
Are those real? Or are those new?
Tattoos.
Is it real?
Yeah.
It's not henna?
No.
Oh.
No, it's henna.
Okay.
ديف ستراود قابلني وحس انه عندي شيء، فقال لي تقدري انت تجي على هذا الكامب. فاول ما جيت على الكامب كنت خايفة جدا، لانه انا الوحيدة اللي كنت ما عمري غنيت أغنية، ما عمري كتبت أغنية، ما عمري مرنت صوتي، فكنت قاعدة وخجلانة ولا تكلمت مع ولا أحد لأنه كنت خايفة، وكنت حاسة نفسي إنه أنا I don't belong here وإنه سويت غلط. بس شوية شوية اتفتحوا علي الناس وهم من نفسهم جوني وقالوا لي روتانا أبغى أعلمك كيف تكتبي، روتانا أبغى أعلمك كيف تغني.
If you remember the first winter retreat you were at and you cried, mostly feeling overwhelmed for one thing.
So overwhelmed. I had just gotten here 2 months ago.
Yeah,
never
totally.
written a song, never
Right.
had a vocal lesson, nothing. And then I came to that Vocalize You retreat and I was just like surrounded by the best people in the industry. And I was just like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I don't belong here. But I mean, I met so many incredible people, and I met Carrie, who I went on to write with for like 3 years. She taught me how to write.
So you think about where you were and where you are now, and I'm not going to say you've surpassed a lot of those people, but you're keeping up with them and maybe surpass some. It all comes down to resilience, okay?
Yeah, man.
Which is why I keep coming back and poking the ribs on twice a day. I know you're busy, but I promise you that like any artist, when you get busy, it's the core that keeps you on track.
Yeah.
When you get touring, and you'll see, when you're on tour and you're doing 5 shows a week or 4 shows a week, hotel to bus to hotel to sound check to, there's no time. It feels like there's no time. And those that don't get into the routine of just taking care of their voice on the road are the ones that I end up on the road with, and it's not fun at that point because we're trying to climb back to zero.
Yeah.
Okay? However, I'm going to come 360 on this.
However,
which is
I've had 3 placements. Dave, can I just like, okay, never mind, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying you've come
I feel like every time I
along-
come and see you, you're like my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I did this and this and this and this and this. And you're just like, cool, let's warm up.
Well, I need that too. I need both.
Dave Stroud كأنه بابا يعلمني. he's my vocal coach، يعلمني كيف أغني، بس كمان مستشير لي في الحياة ويهتم فيني زي ما بابا يهتم فيني.
Not there, ba.
See, that's just my Arabic.
No, it's not.
It
This
is.
Okay, partly, but we've gone through this and you've changed it. You've been in control of it and you've slipped back. Ba. You can
Ba.
say, yeah, see?
Ba.
Right. It's not there, it's ba. Good. Watch the vowel still. Ba, like bat, not there.
Ba.
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 And in support of what you're saying, look, English, American English is like the only language that uses ah.
Yeah.
I know. However, so I'll give you that, but however, I've heard you control this better.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is you can get back to pronouncing it better, and every vowel does something different to your voice.
Yeah.
So that's all we're looking for.
That.
You need to own it.
That.
Yeah.
كثير من المرات نكون خايفين من أحلامنا لأنه ما نعرف نسأل نفسنا بس كيف حيصير هذا الشيء. ولازم وأبغى أشجع كل البنات والأولاد اللي قاعدين يتفرجوا إنه ابعدي عن الكيف واسألي نفسك ليش أنا ليش قاعدة أسوي هذا الشيء، من وين جاي، إيش رابط هذا الشيء لقلبي، إيش رابط هذا الشيء لربي، إيش رابط هذا الشيء المجتمعي، وإذا ليش عندك قوية كل شيء بالكيف حينفتح، وجدا أؤمن بهذا الشيء.
Temper tantrums, nervous attachment, drinking poison, smoking the clouds away. And away I go. My boyfriend's broken, love life is hopeless. I'm in a phase like every moment, oh. And away I go. Help, I think I'm still a teenager. I'm feeling like my own stranger. And I just can't believe it. Help, I think I'm still a stupid kid, just looking for a place to fit. Oh, will I ever grow up?
So the first time when I came, I could walk for like 3 blocks, you know, and I will not see someone that looked like me. And so when I look at that, I was like, okay, so this is really not a place for people like me. And I was like, where did they put all of them? All the people that look like me. Which state is that? I need to go.
They put them in the jail.
Yeah. You know, but Burlington has changed. You know, so right now, if you walk for a block, you see someone that's different.
Right.
But I think that's a really good change, which is not true with other towns.
I remember, you know, one of my friends, we were having a trip to Connecticut. So we went there so we can have some fun with them. And we stopped at McDonald's to get some food. And we see, you know, food, McDonald's food in the picture. Some of them are really big and some of them are smaller than others. And we were pointing fingers at the big one. We just want to have a big food. When it comes to you receive something smaller like this, and we were like, what is this small food?
Yeah.
It's so small.
But here we are, you know, Kakuma, Ethiopia, Uganda. Those are the places that we remember through our journey. But here we are in America. We came as just young men with no kids, no wife, no nothing. But here we are, how many years later? 17 years later. And we have families, we have kids. For me, I think about we're raising the first generation in America that know nothing about where we came from, what we went through. We'll tell them later. But I feel like sometime that we have to do a good job of raising this first generation, because the generation that will come after will follow them. They are the role model. So I think this is one of the hardest jobs, in my view, for us to do very good, very well.
Living the American dream.
That's vibrato, can you believe that?
Do you feel like it's safe there?
This is one of the first songs I ever wrote in that time. وديك بنده كوكو كوكو في الفجرية يلا بنا على باب الله يصل عيني يجعل صباحك صباح الخير بالفجرية. Hi, my name is Rotaana. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Where I come from, it wasn't possible for a woman to be on stage and to dance and sing and move her body the way that I move mine. It was forbidden. Where I come from, we still have a male guardianship system in place where you need permission to exit the country, to travel, to leave the country to get an education and do a lot of other things. We're still not fully functioning individuals. I was struggling to decide that my inner compass was wiser than any system. And even though I had friends and family and love and support, it was dark and I felt alone. And that is truly when the shift begins. This is one of the first songs I ever wrote in that time. It's called Never Going Back. Welcome to the circus, moving without purpose, never going back. Shooting up the Simon, fake it till.
فكثير من أغانيها في البداية كانت أنا روتانا وهذا صوتي وأنا جاية بقوة واسمعوني وشوفوني. فيول سي ذا ايفولوشن الحين لما تسمع الأغاني حقتي لسه فيها حرارة بس هادية أكثر.
I came in person to thank you for the support that I got in college. I got a $5,000 in your name for the service that you've given to our state, and that scholarship helped me.
Well, I'm so glad.
Yeah, but I was really honored that nobody know who you are, but you're identified to benefit from that program, and that set me apart from other students.
I'm delighted that you received the scholarship because I wanted it to go to an immigrant student because I know how hard you work to get to school and how difficult it is to pay off the debt. I'm really very happy that you are doing so well, that you are living the American dream. And that it is still alive and well for students like you.
When I graduated from college, I worked for a while, and I started a foundation called the Sudanese Foundation of Vermont. And the goal of that was to give scholarship work because I appreciate now the importance of scholarship. So it was a tool to identify the needs in the community and how those needs can be articulated better to partner with other people. So right now we're sending kids to summer camps, we have community soccer, and I think that's a good tool. And if I was not empowered, encouraged to think in other ways that I can give back to the community, I would not have done it, you know.
It's wonderful that you want to give back, and that you recognize from your own experience how sometimes a small amount of money can make a big difference. And, you know, I think when your background, of course, is very different from mine. I came here with my mother and my brother in 1940 at the outbreak of World War II. And we were, you know, white middle-class Europeans. And you came from a war-torn country and made the extremely long journey and difficult journey to get here. But I think it makes both of us share that we appreciate democracy and we appreciate what this country can still offer, even though we're generations apart and geographically far apart. We have that common thread that if you do work hard and hold on to your dream, you can make a lot of progress and you can create a new life for yourself.
The women in Saudi Arabia, some of which were dear friends and mentors of mine, were protesting the ban on women driving for the last time, thank God. Come, I think a week and a half, women will finally be able to drive. Yes, 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 yes. It's been a long time coming. So anyways, these women, many of which were dear friends of mine, were protesting the ban, and I really wanted to be there, but I couldn't. I was here. So I did this cover of Lord's song Team, and I made a music video for it for the cause. And it's really funny. If you dig deep enough, you will find it.
We live in cities you'll never see on screens. Not very pretty, but we sure know how to drive free. Living in ruins.
وما فكرت فيه ولا شيء، حطيته على الانترنت، حطيته على الفيسبوك حقي وبس وتركته. أتذكر كنت في كلاس مع صاحبي جابرييل، راح جابرييل رسل لي تكست قال لي الفيديو عنده 100,000 فيو بحوالي ساعتين. فطلعنا من الكلاس وقلنا أوه ماي جاد واتس هابينينج، وبعدين شفنا 200,000 300,000 500,000 مليون. فأبدا ما كنت متوقعة، أنا ما سويت شيء، أو اللي سويته هو إني حطيت الفيديو. أعتقد إنه الفيديو it went viral سببين. أول شيء طبعاً لأنه سواقة الحريم بالسعودية هذا الشيء يعني متأخر جداً، فأظن العالم كله كان شوكت إنه كثير من العالم لسه ما يعرفوا إنه الحريم في السعودية ما كانوا يقدروا يسوقوا. فأي ثينك كمجتمع في الإنترنت in general was just shocked. والسبب الثاني لأني كنت سعودية وكنت قاعدة أغني، وهذا الشيء لين 2013 العالم ما شافه. فلهذا السبب راح فايرل، ولكن أنا ما سويت شيء، هو من نفسه it went viral. فكنت مبسوطة كثير وكنت مفجوعة لأنه كنت دوبي بديت الغنى وبديت الفن. فحتى هذا الفيديو كان بسيط وكنت لسه قاعدة أتعلم كيف أغني. فكان صار عندي شوك شوية، بعدين جوني البي بي سي وسويت انترفيوز معاهم وان بي ار وهافينغتون بوست وكل هذه الاشياء. ابدا ما كنت prepared، بس كذا الحياة. you're never prepared.
Female, empowerment, rebel, Muslim, immigrant. I have all the hashtags. I have all of them. And I'm really not making fun of that. I don't want to belittle my narrative. I did grow up in one of the most conservative societies in the world.
ما في شيء أقوى من الإمرأة. والمرأة القوية يخافوا منها الناس. فاعرفي اعرفي يا أختي الصغيرة، يا أي بنت في السعودية أو في الخليج أو في العالم، إنه قوتك حتخوف الناس، بس كوني طيبة معاهم وعلميهم.
I understand now that whenever someone is hateful or evil towards you, it is only because there are parts of themselves that they are seeing inside of you that they are just not ready to meet. I am nothing but their echo. I got that now. Who am I to make you feel this way, to make you lie awake, counting the minutes till morning. Who am I to make you so afraid, to make you speak this way, to make you want to destroy me. Got you all worked up, why you so worked up? I'm a little bit of you, no shame, 'cause you can't.
في موسيقتي أبغى أوصل العالم العربي في الوست. أبغى أعرف الناس هنا في أمريكا وأعرف الناس في الغرب إنه إنه المرأة السعودية ما هي مرأة مضغوطة ومحبوسة، إنه المرأة السعودية مرأة قوية وشيز organized وعندها جراءة وعندها أحلام. لأنه عادة اللي أسمع من الغرب إنه أوه أنا ما أصدق إنك أنت سعودية، كيف أنت سعودية؟ عندك رأي، عندك point of view، عندك مواهب كثيرة. وأنا أقول طبعاً هذا الامرأة السعودية، بس العالم ما تعرفها المرأة السعودية.
ألف الصلاة والسلام عليك يا حبيب الله محمد.
in. Thank you so much for coming today. We're really excited that you're thinking about serving on our board.
It's exciting.
Yeah. So, as you know, we're just kind of beginning this new board. We've been an organization for quite some time. I think I'd like to have Chol kind of fill you in on some of the background of the Sudanese Foundation and the work that it's done already and what its plans are.
Great.
So the Sudanese Foundation of Amman is a new organization, as Julie just said. We started on April 30th of 2016. So this is our second year, like we're doing full-time work for the foundation. Our plan was to identify issues that are affecting our families and how we can articulate those issues and connect with other agencies. So a part of doing it is to have a strong board that connect and spread our message about what we're doing and connect us to resources that we need to run the foundation. We have a number of programs that are running right now. We have the soccer program running every summer. We are sending kids to summer camps. We did a fundraiser with the church. And we just secured another funding for another summer camp with Vermont Folk Life Center. So those are exciting events that we've been doing, and we hope you will help us with other opportunities in the future.
Absolutely. I'd love the opportunity to help you.
I got involved with the South Sudanese community in Vermont kind of by accident. I was working in a local high school, working with sort of at-risk kids. And I read Talar's essay, and Talar's essay was after they had swum across a river where his fellow friends were being eaten by alligators, and you know, you're just swimming for your life. They didn't even know how to swim sometimes. He was carrying his brother, and his brother got across to the bank, and his brother died in his arms because his brother was bitten by a snake. And he lay there trying to decide, do I go on, you know, or do I stay with my brother who's died? And most of them went on. I mean, some of them didn't. And I guess a important part of their story is that I like to honor the ones that didn't go on, because I don't think we tend to pay attention to the survivors, but the people that lost their lives in that struggle, to me, are also heroes. You know, they were children. They were just doing the same thing all the other kids were doing, fighting for their lives. The experiences I've been given from them and my family has been given from this community far exceeds anything that we've done for them. They've just shown us what it is to be human, what it is to struggle against just some of the worst things I've ever heard can happen to people. So I feel really privileged to have gotten to know as many of the families as I have.
We did this campaign for Prada and Miu Miu. We made a short film. Well, we didn't make it, but we composed the music for a short film that was debuting their spring and summer collection of this year. It's going to premiere at the Venice Film Festival. And I mean, you and I, there's literally no one in the world that you were the first and only person that came to mind, because you know me like the back of my hand, and like I feel so comfortable. I feel like at this point you even know the Arabic scale more than just like some people that I've worked with who are Arab, because you've heard it so much. I'm so proud of what we did. Like, absolutely, we took this phrase "dana ya dana" and we just messed it up.
Yeah, it was cool learning about like where it derived from, but then mixing like. It was cool recreating this with Western like mainstream tendencies. Mixing wise, like they wouldn't have a kick or like an 808 in the forefront.
Exactly.
Of like a groove.
Yeah, so we put like Kanye sounds on this stuff, and it's like
an Eastern groove.
Eastern groove, and like the second one, we should play a little bit of both. But the second one, the La ilaha illallah, which is, you know. That one was really special too, because La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, as I told you, means there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the Prophet. So for us to be able to create a track that was so modernized, with that and then have it in a Prada campaign.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in today's day and age, when you hear those words and you see it on the media, it's so often associated with terrorism.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to create art for a fashion house as big as Prada is just
it's changing the world. Let's go.
Play a little bit of that one.
All right.
This is when the bride and the groom were coming out. جدا يعز علي ومبسوطة إنه fashion brand, a fashion house as big as Prada has that as their campaign. وإنه استخدمنا هذه الكلمات العزيزة على قلبي وعلى ديني وعلى أهلي وعلى مجتمعي بطريقة فن. ومزجت بين الغرب والعالم العربي، وهذا الشيء يوري الموسيقى أبدا ما عنده حدود. ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله ألف الصلاة والسلام. Anyways,
that's for Prada. Can you believe that?
That part was like, it's cool. It almost sounds like Pharrell, almost.
It kind of does.
But it's
I'm
like
telling you,
we're
putting these songs out. I just haven't had a moment to breathe, but we're putting these songs out. I don't know where, but we're putting them out.
The Sudan Development Foundation started in 2007, and we established it after Abraham returned to South Sudan after the first peace agreement with Sudan. So it still wasn't a country at that time. And what he found when he went back to his village and found his mother and everybody he hadn't seen for 17 years was that they had no skills and no ability to really take care of themselves the way they did when he left as a young child, because they had been, living in war for 30 years. They also had lived in refugee camps where you're not allowed to work, grow food. And his thought was education was the solution. And then he went, and everybody there was saying, oh, education's great, we want it, but we're dying. We're literally, outbreaks of malaria, outbreaks of meningitis, we're killing hundreds of children in the village just while he was there in those few weeks. And so he came home, and we started SUDEF to create solutions that the local people could really solve these problems for themselves. And so we raised money that would go to things like making bricks for them to build their first clinic, but the people in the community built it. And so Abraham's whole philosophy is it has to be very organic, and it has to be kind of locally controlled and locally owned. And that's what's happened, and it's really been miraculous.
Do you feel like it's safe there for you to do your work and to travel to other part of the country?
But as we speak, the situation is not as it was in 2015 and 2014, but it's still unsafe. Things can flare up, and so one has to be adequately informed before you take any action or you take any trip anywhere. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, and sometimes I tell my colleagues that it is better not to know than to know all these things that you cannot do anything about. Since we came here in 2011, it took us about 6 months to adjust and to try to understand our place and our roles within the new environment in South Sudan. So at the moment, in light of all the difficulties that we have, we can function, we can contribute, and lessen the effect of violence and conflict in the country. But we can say that we have made some contribution. It could be far worse if we were not on the ground.
Keep the momentum going, keep the energy going, and I think you have the support you need to keep going.
Thanks so much. All right, it's been so great seeing you. Okay.
Bye, be safe.
And I want to thank all the Sudanese community here in our state.
You can love and respect and honor your parents and your culture and still be an individual.
To be anything, you have to go to school.
So Tshol, what was it like when you first came to the United States? What did you do for food?
Well, the first thing that I did was to go to the restaurant and look at what they have, and everything on the menu was different.
Right.
The names was different, and I had a really hard time, buying what I want to eat. And so I just look at the number and say, can I have number 13, please?
Okay.
Then they ask, okay, what do you want on it? And I had really hard time mentioning what I should have on it.
Right.
So it was really hard. And from that experience, I tried to avoid going to restaurants. But now I'm okay, I'm used to it. I can order what I want on my burger.
Right.
I have other South Sudanese friends who said, we didn't know what ice cream was, we didn't know what toothpaste was.
Yeah. It's the war that happened back home. So we spent a lot of time, many years, running to a place where you're safe, okay? Like in a refugee camp, you don't have you don't have skills. They don't train you to have skills. So when you come to a place like America, you have some skills, Most of the people that came here knew nothing about cleaning. How do you clean? Like how do you mop? How do you do all those things? But when we came here, we learned those things from the first time, It is true that people who went to college, they came here the first time, they've been cleaning, and they're still doing it today,
I know.
even if they have a degree.
They're
I think that's an
underemployed.
American challenge, really.
What is the barrier? I mean, I don't think it's the South Sudanese, because they're getting the education.
Yeah. Well, when you come to this country, they say, to be anything, you have to go to school, and we did precisely that.
Yeah, I know.
We did exactly what that is. Sometimes you even qualify, but you can't get the job.
Oh yeah.
More qualified more than any other person, but you can't get the job. America has taught me about opportunity, that once you get the opportunity, it can make a difference in your life. Here I am in America, after many years of living in displaced camps, in refugee camps, and I'm here now as an American, giving back in the community that I call my own today. America has taught me how to be engaged, how to use the knowledge that I got from college in a good way, not to demean people, but to empower people to make a difference in themselves.
أمريكا علمتني الإصرار، لأنه خاصة في مجال الموسيقى يعني rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection، فلازم أنت تكوني عارفة نفسك. وفي بعض الأحيان أمريكا علمتني المساواة، لأنه في مساواة هنا في أمريكا لسه في العالم العربي قاعدين نلحق عليها، وطبعاً أمريكا ما هي perfect وعندنا أشياء لازم نشتغل عليها هنا كمان، بس في أشياء شفت مساواة فيها تكون natural أكثر من ما هي في العالم العربي، فارتحت لها.
I am proud that all of you made it safely to our event, and I want to thank all the Sudanese community here in our state for the wonderful event that they have planned. It was not easy. The women did an outstanding job of cooking and shopping. I went with them yesterday. I did the shopping, and I was exhausted. Just doing the shopping. Just doing the shopping. So imagine cooking. The celebration of Sudan and South Sudan independence would not have been possible if it were not in America. Because there's no way where I know in South Sudan where a group of people just get organize an event and say we are celebrating independence of Sudan and South Sudan together. So we are celebrating two independence in one day because we can do it here in America and it's easy for us to do.
The Lost Boys and the women have been here too. We just didn't meet a lot of them at first, but the general Sudanese community have given back so much in Vermont really since they got off the plane. I mean, just in how emotive they were about their experience and positive but not positive in a way that masks the challenges that come with being an immigrant. And so they help pave the way for so many other communities that would come after.
الغربة is like that's the hardest. It's the hardest part about. Sorry.
Aww.
I don't know. I'm being so emotional right now. I miss my family. That's the hardest part about this all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love you. That's why people like you are so important, because I need to like, you know, I miss hearing the Arabic language. I miss our food. I miss that.
Yeah, and it's.
But I'll go back. I know that. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that to happen. I always tell myself I'm not gonna cry, and then it just happens. ميثة صديقة عزيزة لي، كمان مستشارة لي في الحياة. أتعلم منها التاريخ، أتعلم منها حقوق المرأة، أتعلم منها تاريخ المرأة وقوتها. Maitha is like a fairy godmother. I think with my parents for the first 2 years, half of our conversations was إيش حيقول الناس؟ إيش حيقول الناس؟ لأنه my parents are still very much integrated in Saudi society, and they live there and everything. And it's interesting لأنه خلاص my parents and I don't have those conversations anymore. And it's not because الناس مو قاعدين يتكلموا، لأنه كل الناس قاعدين يتكلموا وخليهم يتكلموا، لأنه I think that that's part of the evolution, is that إيش حيقولوا الناس؟ حيقولوا اللي حيقولوا.
So they've arrived at a different place now.
They've arrived with me.
With you.
And that's what's really beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And it's just taken a lot of patience. And it's taken them just seeing إنه their daughter مبسوطة. ما كنت مبسوطة when I wasn't living my truth.
Yeah.
أنا كروتانا ما في شيء أهم عندي غير like أهلي أهم شيء عندي في الدنيا. Like ماما أعز شيء عندي في الدنيا. You know, so I didn't want to live a life that was upsetting to them. So it was really important for me. And I know that that is a lot, that is the Saudi girl's struggle, is ما أبغى أزعل أهلي. ما أبغى أضغط على أهلي. I want to make them proud. أبغى أعتني في أمي. أبغى أعتني في بابا. أبغى أعزز أهلي. So that's why I do what I do. I want to find a way to show other Saudi girls and Arab women in general that like both can happen.
Yeah.
You can love and respect and honor your parents and your culture and still be an individual. Home is where mama is صراحة. أنا بنت أمي وبنت بابا. وأعتقد كفنانة كمان صعب إني أقول لك وين بيتي أو where home is. وأحس إنه هذا الشيء the millennials اللي زيي و generation Z يحسوا فيه، لأنه أنا كثير من المرات أحس نفسي بالسعودية وأحس I don't feel like I'm home. أحس إنه في ناس هنا ما هم فاهميني، وأجي هنا أمريكا أحس بنفس هذا الشيء. فالفن يعني لي بشكل مو طبيعي، لأنه it's a safe space for me. It's a country that I can call my own in my music and in my performance and in the spaces that I create where I give my art to people. Sorry. I think that's where home is.
The advice that I would give to anybody going through life struggle is you're not alone. Many people are going through the same thing. And it is how you overcome that will also help other people. Because if you give in, then the other people will not depend on you. But no matter what that is, it's not gonna stay for the rest of your life. It's gonna come to an end. And part of it has to start with you. Be consistent, adapt to what that is, understand it better, and it should not shape who you are. At the end of the day, you'll get through it.